Greetings, everybody. So today I want to talk about the most important, or in my view, the most valuable cochlear implant accessory that I have. And I've talked about my Roger microphone before, my Roger on mic, and I've talked about like the TV connector, and those are certainly great accessories. But there's one accessory that I've discovered that's honestly been the most valuable to me, and it is having a haptic watch. It doesn't have to be an Apple Watch. It just happens to be what I have. There are certainly other types of watches out there that have haptics that aren't quite as expensive. But if you have been considering it and you've been on the fence about it, I just want to tell you why it honestly has been the most valuable thing I have. The first reason is because it is my alarm that wakes me up in the morning. I know there's other things out there like, bed shaker alarms and other stuff, and they have these alarms that like have these like nuclear loud, settings. But, I have, a partner and I don't necessarily want to wake him up with any of those things. And so having haptics on my watch for my alarm has been amazing. It just wakes me up. And I have it set on the highest setting so that it zings me enough that I'm definitely waking up. And it doesn't disturb, my husband. The next reason why I find it's really valuable is that I can get critical alerts pushed from my phone to my watch, especially when I'm sleeping at night. For example, we have an alarm system. It's a fairly, popular one that's out there. And if I were to, for whatever reason, if my husband wasn't home and I was sleeping at night, if someone were to break in, the alarm goes off. I may not hear the alarm, but it will zing my watch because I have that pushed as a critical alert. So if my phone is in sleep mode at night, I will still get that. And we also just had, new smoke alarms installed from this same company, and it's the same system. So if someone breaks in, the alarm goes off, smoke alarm goes off, my watch will tell me in the middle of the night. That has brought me a lot of peace of mind, especially as I get closer to having a second implant. I have a tiny shred of hearing left. And so, I can hear something in the middle of the night if it's like super loud in the room, but I don't think I would hear the alarm downstairs. And I'm going to be definitely like, without even that shred, I'm definitely going to need something to give me a little bit more reassurance when I get that second CI done. And then another reason why I really love it is, if I were to have a vertigo attack or fall somewhere, I've got a way to, and I didn't have my phone in my hand or in my pocket or whatever, I have a way to get help. And so, who knows? Like if I'm out in a parking lot somewhere, or if I'm out in a remote, I don't know. I'm not really out in any remote area, but if I was and I needed help, I like that I've got something on me that could help me get help if I need it. And the last reason I really love it, honestly, and this doesn't necessarily have to do anything with haptics, but with the Apple Watch, it has a decibel meter. When I started losing my hearing, I loved the decibel meter because I was trying to figure out what can I hear, what can't I hear, or I was gauging like, well, how loud is that? I can't hear that. Wow, that's 70 decibels, and I can't hear that. And so it helps me with things like when I'm driving lately, I'm experimenting with just blasting the stereo and not streaming because I love to like feel the bass, but I'm a little bit worried that it might be too loud. And I can't really tell what's too loud in the real world anymore. So I'll check my decibel meter. Okay, I shoot for around 70 decibels. I think that's probably pretty okay. So I check that quite frequently just to try to figure out how loud things are, because I can't really tell anymore. So having a decibel meter on my watch has just kind of helped me learn a little bit more about my hearing loss and just kind of the world around me. So if you've been thinking about it, or maybe you're having hearing loss and maybe this is something you need and you're having trouble convincing maybe somebody in your family that this is something that's really important, I don't know, send them this video and tell them that I think it's a good idea. I feel a lot safer having it. I charge it in the morning when I'm getting ready, so that and then I just put it on and I sleep with it through the night, so that way it's good to go. So let me know in the comments, are you using some sort of haptic watch, or maybe you have found a valuable accessory that has really helped you? Again, I want to stress, it doesn't have to be, an Apple Watch. And just to let you know, I mean, I got like pretty much, one of the cheapest models. I just needed the bare bones. But there are certainly other models and other kinds of things out there. So, try to find something that works for you. Let me know in the comments what you're doing.